Corporations receive tax rebates on the huge CEO bonuses paid each year, but many of their employees receive food stamp subsidies because they don't earn a livable wage. How do we remove the burden placed on the working taxpayers for these subsidies and hold high-profit corporations such as Walmart and McDonald's responsible for the subsidies that their own employees receive and hold them accountable for not paying their workers a livable wage?
Well, Curtis, obviously, one thing we can do right away, as I said, is just raise the minimum wage. That would help lift the incomes of a lot of folks. The other thing is we could close some of these tax loopholes out there that aren't really very productive and use some of those unproductive tax breaks to help fund, for example, an expansion of the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is a wonderful tool that we've been able to use. Millions of people use it. In fact, about half of all parents at some point use the Earned Income Tax Credit so that they have more money in their pockets and keep more money out of their paychecks and are able to support their families more effectively. The problem right now is the Earned Income Tax Credit doesn't apply to folks who don't have kids. And there's some Republicans as well as Democrats who say this is a dumb idea. First of all, it's not giving incentives for a lot of single folks to work the way the way it would if the EITC applied to them, and it's also particularly tough for young men who are just starting off in the workplace and oftentimes aren't making a lot of income, and they may have a child who they're not paying child support for, or they're not with the mom because they don't feel like they're making enough money, or there might be disincentives for them to go ahead and get married. So you're seeing an interesting potential coalition of Democrats and Republicans who might be willing to expand it, but you'd have to pay for it. It would cost money. And one way of paying for it would be to close some of these corporate loopholes that are out there that aren't really helping anybody.
Until we close those loopholes, could we not take those deductions that circumvent the cap in the 162M, distribute those to the agencies that pay for the subsidies for these companies, what's left over give back to the company, because nowhere in our Constitution of our founding forefathers are corporations given provision for greater or equal rights to living and breathing human citizens.
Well, unfortunately, the Supreme Court's been disagreeing with you on some things lately. That's the reason why the Citizens United opinion, for example, got applied. A lot of court rulings lately have treated corporations as persons when it comes to various rights. That takes us probably into a whole new set of conversations that I suspect Steve doesn't want me to wade into. But thank you, Curtis, for the great question.
Thank you.
All right.